join me here this morning on 𝗪𝗏𝗺𝗃 Fisheries in 𝗲𝗏𝗃 in Essex. Today I'm doing a day session. I'm going to run through sort of the tactics that I use on my day sessions. With a busy work life and a busy family and quite a few competitions, it's sort of the style of angling that I do nowadays. So we're going to slip this one back that we had just as the cameras were arriving and see what the rest of the day brings. After walking around, we located a few fish down in sort of peg 1. It is the closest peg to the car park, but it's sort of, I believe it gives me the best option for the way the fish are behaving. The fish seem to be up in the water, so it gives me good access to the island. And I think where the fish are up in the water, we've got a good chance of catching a fish in the shallower water up against the island. It's also a nice margin to our right where no one else can fish to. And we have seen a good few fish patrolling in and out the snags there. So we're going to be planning on putting sort of a rod up against the snags there, one up against the island. And we've also got a channel there that sort of runs between the island and the bank. So with a bit of luck with the fish sort of patrolling everywhere, we'll get a rod up there and we can catch a few more. We may have to move throughout the day because the fish are very active. So we might have to stay mobile ourselves, keeping up with it. Only being a day session, we want to be on the fish for as much time as we can. We've also been tricking a little bit of baiting in and around here on a few spots. So we'll keep an eye out on that throughout the day as well. Starting approach has got to be a solid bag. We're going to be using the pellet in the bag that we feed these fish. So with a bit of luck, we should have another fish soon to show you. When fishing short sessions, I think venue choice has got to be perfect. And today we're here at 𝗪𝗏𝗺𝗃 Fishery. It's a 5-acre lake, but it's actually got a very good head of carp. It's got 150 fish in 5 acres. There's also a good head of 30s. There's sort of between 50 and 60 30s at this time of year as well. So there's always a good chance of catching a 30 in them short sessions. The depths are quite deep. It's down to 20 foot in places across the middle, but it's also got a big island which you can get to from 8 of the 10 pegs. This island this time of year is obviously like the M25 to the fish. They're travelling round and round and round, always looking for food, and there's always that opportunity of a good few bites throughout the summer months. But then even through the winter, with us being so deep here, we do fish well through the winter months. So you will also find me here doing short sessions through the winter. So fishing a massive sort of 100-acre pit when you've got short sessions on your hands is not really the sort of thing that you want to be doing. Really, you want to be picking your venue wisely, where you've got a good chance of some action, and you're going home with a bit of luck with a few fish. Just moving into the afternoon now. We've just had this one just under £30. The solid bags are still working for me, so I'm going to get this one back and show you how I tie them. The rig I'm using today is a solid bag rig. I'm actually using a size 6 wide Gapex with a bright piece of pink cone and a nice big 4-ounce inline flat pair. Inside the solid, I've actually got a bit of a mix. I've actually got some really small pellets, which I'm using to protect the hook when I put in. I've actually got some small 3mm pellets. We feed 11 and 17s here, but this is the smaller one, so it's almost like it's broken down. To start off with, I'll take my solid bag and I'll lay my hook in, and I want the hook at the bottom. That's just my preference basically, and like that, so the hook's in position for me, ready to put the pellet. The smaller pellet goes in first, like this, to protect the hook. And I get the lead in quite quick because I want the lead as close to the bottom to the bag as I can. I think this helps with the flight. Next, I just top up with a smaller bit of pellet. And as you can see, I'm always working the lead to make sure that I'm getting the pellet as compact as I can. Next in is just a handful of the pellet that we feed. So obviously they're seeing this every day. So it's mad not to have it in your mix. Trying to keep that air out. It is going to be a little bit hard because the pellets are a little bit bigger, the feed pellet. Last but not least, you should top it up with a smaller pellet again. But now it's time to start working the bag, bottom of my hand, pushing everything down into position and working it so we're getting that nice shape that we need so it casts really well. I then twist, and this stem is designed for me to be able to lick and stick without the need of PVA tape. And there you have that. But next, that flying out, if you don't lick these corners in, will sort of helicopter on the cast. So you've got to really work it and get these corners stuck down as best we can. And there you go. The most perfect solid bag. Hook bait in the bottom. Lead very close to the hook bait. And a nice parcel of food. I've actually chose to go in with a solid bag today. There's a few reasons really. We're only fishing for bites, and I can put the pellets in the bag that we feed the fish. Also, it's a nice parcel of bait sort of within where I'm casting, and with a bit of luck, when the carp swim by, it will sort of pick up the attractions of the bag. So there's many different pellets. There's boilie, so they should be releasing oils out. So with a bit of luck, any passing carp, it will sort of catch their sense of smell or their eyesight and allow them to drop down. Also, we're doing a lot of casting against islands, so there's obviously going to be a bit of a leaf, a few branches on the way in, and with everything inside the bag, I know I can cast as tight as I want to with the island, knowing that I'm going to have a nice parcel of bait really tight together. Now this solid bag is tied up, I'm going to cast it tight to the island, and hopefully it will nick me another bite before I go home. The rod I'm actually using on this session is a TX2 with a 3-pound test curve. It's a lower budget end rod, but even doing the bag work that I've been doing on this session and will continue to doing after this session, it more than stands up to what I need. I've matched this up with an Airlex 14,000, which is also a lower end budget reel, but it's more than withstood what I need it to do, and I'll continue to use them in the future. Basically, the TX2 13-foot intensity is a rod that I've used for many years, whether I've been going away with England, which I used to do a couple of years ago, or fishing matches in Europe abroad, going France, anywhere basically in the world I've fished. You don't need to be spending loads and loads of money on your rods and reels if you don't want to. This rod and reel has more than withstood what I've needed to do. The rod itself, the test curve, when playing fish, has been really, really good. The reel with the quick drag system has worked really well. So you don't really need to be spending silly money if you don't want to. Right, so that's the end of the session. Unfortunately, we didn't manage any more fish this afternoon. We had them couple of stunning fish this morning. I hope you find the tips that we've given you today the use of your own fishing, and I'll see you next time.